Okay, we're going to do a cold start of the Honda TRX250. These things always start pretty easy, but they're kind of cold-blooded, so...
Because they die all the time.
Yeah, you kind of have to keep them running until they warm up a little bit. That's all right.
Do you mean to, like, stand right here?
Oh, it's not going to die.
Oh, well, that's kind of...
That one will die.
Yeah, that one's really cold-blooded.
Anyway, we try to keep them pretty cleaned up after we ride. We just keep them stock. So, on my other one, I had to replace the last winter the oil pump chain, which is right under here. But to get to it, you have to pull this cover. There's a centrifugal clutch and the other main clutch on the other side over here. You have to pull both those off. It's kind of a pain. I don't have the puller, so I had to make one. And then you have to pull the tank and everything off so you can get to the valves. You got to pull the rocker arms off, and then I suspended the lifters up with a couple of magnets, because you have to pull the cam out a little ways. You don't want to drop the lifters down the engine. Anyway, did that. Wasn't too bad of a job. Yeah. This quad here, actually, I rebuilt because I was kind of an idiot and didn't have it tied down well enough on my flatbed. Not this one, but another one, and it came off up by Forest Grove. And anyway, it bounced up in the air about 10 feet and down the highway, and it bent the rear axle, so I had to put a new axle in, and it bent the wheels all up, so I had to put new wheels on. I think the frame is just maybe slightly tweaked. There's like about a difference of, I don't know, a little less than 1/4 of an inch from this side to this side when you measure to the floor. It's fine.
Drives pretty good.
Yeah, it drives pretty good. It kind of twisted things around on the handlebars a little bit. I had to redo some of that. And I think the fender bracket got bent, so a new one of those. But we got that all taken care of, and this is a good, reliable quad now. I fortunately had it insured, and the insurance company actually paid me more than what I paid for it, and I ended up buying it back for about $300. And I think the axle shaft and other parts I had to buy was roughly another $300. So I literally have about $600 into this quad, believe it or not, and they go for around, you can find a good used one for around $2,000. They're a little higher this year. I've seen them up in $2,500 range on Craigslist. So this one was a good deal. This one, on the other hand, this is a good quad. This is the one I put the oil pump chain and cam chain on. This one's mine, actually. And so we go out to Sand Lake. That's what the paddle tires are for. We usually go on a trip out during the summer, and then most of the rest of the time we pretty much stay in the dirt. And we like riding at Brown's Camp, which is up between Forest Grove and Tillamook in Oregon, up in the Tillamook State Forest. Yeah, and then we have we got two TRX250s, this one and that one. And then we have two TRX90s, this one, and there's another one over there. And then we have a little Polaris Outlaw 50, a 2012. It's a nice little quad, but got a Gotta be honest, it hasn't been the most reliable. It's had issues with starting and it wants to die a lot, but I think I finally kind of got it dialed in. We put some fresh gas in it. We went ahead and used some non-ethanol, high octane. All my other stuff, I've always just run regular gas right out of the pump, and I always run stable, the marine stable in them, and I've never had a problem with the Hondas or any of my other small power equipment. But this quad is real finicky. But did that and put fresh gas in it, and I adjusted the air mixture screw on the carburetor a little bit, and I think we've got this one running pretty good. But we'll find out, because I've had it running good before, and then it's a problem. And it's no fun, when you've got a young kid on one of these who's 6 years old or so, and it dies on them all the time. And then I have to stop and help, and then of course they get frustrated because they want to ride. So anyway, yeah. So that's that. These are our ATVs we like to ride, and we just kind of like tinkering around. On the 90s, I just got done putting new tie rod ends. So you can see here, tie rod in here. Maybe you can't see; it's kind of dark. There's 4 of them. Well, there's 2 tie rods, but 4 tie rod ends, and then new kingpins on both sides. It was a pretty easy job. It's a little tricky. You have to do your preset on your tie rods and then adjust them once it's all back together for your tow. And believe it or not, these TRX90s are actually towed out at the factory, which means the distance from the center of the wheel here to the center of the wheel here in the front is actually wider at the front than in the back. Most cars, and I think even the 250s, I think have a little bit of tow in, but these 90s tow out a little bit. And I kind of have a theory. I think it's because they're a little harder to, it makes it a little harder to steer, but I think it makes them a little less squirrely, which I think is probably a good thing for kids. I think it just kind of helps them stay going where they're trying to go, rather than, you turn the wheel a little bit and having it get squirrely on them, especially like they're going down a gravel road or something. But they ride pretty good with the tow out. Yeah, okay, well, we'll end this video because you probably don't want to hear any more of my blathering. Okay, we'll make some more later. Thanks.